Well, hi everybody. This is Tammy from Winky World Adventures, and I thought today I would go over some ideas that I have on how to save money if you're wanting to go on a cruise. For many people, a cruise is a big investment, maybe a once-in-a-lifetime thing that you're looking forward to or wanting to do, trying to save up the dollars. Well, today I'm going to give you some ideas that will help you keep a little bit more money in your pocket, in the bank, and be able to go on your cruise sooner probably than you thought. Okay, the first way that you can save money on a cruise is by staying in an inside cabin. Now, obviously there's many different kinds of staterooms or cabins on a cruise ship. And you can spend a lot of money if you want to, have a veranda, a balcony looking out at the ocean or a suite, but really it's not needed. I've been on like 10 cruises now, and I can tell you that very seldom are we in our cabin. Sometimes we'll chill and watch a movie or something if we're tired from going. But for the most part, we just use our cabin for sleeping and for getting ready for dinner and things like that. So you really don't need to have a balcony at all. So one way to save a lot of money is by staying in the inside cabins. And the inside cabins are darker. They're usually a little quieter too. So usually you can get a really good night's sleep in the inside cabins as well. Okay, the second way that you can save money going on a cruise is by sailing at off-peak times of the year. So looking for times that aren't as busy when the cruise lines are willing to reduce their fares to try to fill up the ships. So you'll want to just kind of compare from month to month, season to season, staying away from any holiday periods because the holidays are the most expensive, especially Christmas and New Year's. So and spring break. So sailing at times that aren't as busy, like the fall, you can save a lot of money. Also, in addition to that, airfare is usually way cheaper at those times. So if you're thinking of flying, then you'll probably save money on the airfare too that way. If you're able to drive to the port, any ports, now it's not just Miami anymore. And, it used to be way back when cruising first started, you had to either go to Miami or, Port Canaveral was starting to grow, Los Angeles. But now you can sail from Baltimore, New Orleans. There's just so many different places that you can go sail from. So see if you could possibly drive to one of those ports. That would save you money as well. And then sailing to, if you can buy way in advance, usually when the cruise prices first come out from the cruise lines, they give you cheaper fares. If you pay right away there, the closer you get, the prices usually go up, except for sometimes last minute sales. If you're able to do a last minute cruise, sometimes they're willing to reduce fares to, again, fill up those cabins that are left at the last minute. So those are some ideas on how to save money in terms of booking your cabin. Okay, the third way that I have for you in terms of trying to save money on a cruise is, you'll need to figure out some way to get to the cruise port from the airport if you're flying in. And usually a lot of people will just book with the cruise line. It's quick, easy, and you can get there that way. But it does cost a little bit of money. If you're looking to save a little bit of money, you could look for your own way to get there. And one of the ways to do that is by renting a car. That's what Ron and I usually do. You would think it would be more, but oftentimes it's not. And what's nice there is we can stop on the way to the port, and we usually do fly in a day early, and we can stop and get our things that we need last minute, things maybe we don't want to carry on the airplane with us, like suntan lotion. We want the big bottle, and especially if we're doing carry-on. So it's nice to be able to stop at Walmart or the liquor store on the way to the cruise ship, and we have the rental car there. We could stay at a hotel if we want to, and just do whatever we want, sightsee a little bit the day before. So actually a rental car can be almost cheaper than paying the transfer fees that the cruise line charges you, especially if you're traveling with people, because the price of one rental car, if you can fit a few people in there, 4 or 5 people in the car, you're going to be probably paying the same or lower. So looking on sites, apps that would reduce the rental car fee is also something that really helps. Like I use the Hopper app a lot for renting cars. They usually give me very cheap rates on there. Or Expedia obviously has very cheap rental cars as well. Or there's other travel apps that maybe you know one. You leave it in the comments below if you know of any travel apps that are good for renting cars, because you can save a lot of money that way, and you can have a little bit of fun before your cruise as well. Okay, the fourth idea that I have for you in terms of saving money on a cruise is by booking your own excursions, or just exploring on your own inside the ports. You do not have to book the cruise line excursions as you get off to explore these ports. So I guess the best advice I have for you is to kind of peruse the ports. I mean, Google and find out as much as you can about the ports and see if they're safe. Reading online is a great way, in some of the different Facebook groups and things too, related to the cruise, to find out if the cruise ports are safe to explore on your own, because a lot of them are. For instance, we went to Nassau last year and we didn't get an excursion. We just went and explored some things on our own there. It's very, easy to walk around Nassau. So a lot of different ports are like that, or there's sightseeing that you could do nearby where you don't have to spend a lot of money, or you could get your own taxi if it's safe and explore on your own. And then also you could book your own excursions and save a little there. Let's say you really want to go scuba diving, but the cruise line's charging quite a bit for scuba diving. Well, you could look on sites such as Viator, and I will put a link down in the description to Viator. What you can do there is just go on and look for different excursions and see the prices and see how much they really differ from the cruise line prices. Usually you'll save quite a bit. A lot of them are actually the same excursions even as the cruise line that they offer. So comparing prices is a good idea. The only thing with that, if you're going on your own at all, with your own excursion or just by yourself, you need to really watch the clock and make sure you're on ship time so that you're back to the ship on time, because obviously you don't want to miss the ship. So making sure that your time, wear a watch, make sure it's on ship time, and make sure you're back there before the ship pulls out of port, or you'll be one of those pier runners, as they call them, barely making it back on time. Okay, the fifth idea that I have for you today in terms of saving money on a cruise is to eat the free food. There's tons of food on a cruise ship. You could spend a lot of money by going to all the specialty restaurants, and there are some good ones. So if there's a special event like an anniversary or something, maybe you do want to splurge and treat yourself, but you really don't need to. There's so much free food offered in the main dining room. Some ships have more than one main dining room, plus the buffet is free. So even that alone right there, there's just so much to eat. Plus all of the different smaller restaurants, such as Guy's Burgers on the Carnival ship, Blue Iguana Cantina is another one. And those are just a couple examples. Most ships now have many free food options for you to choose from. So you can definitely eat your fill and have a great cruise without paying for the extra food. Okay, the sixth idea that I have for you to save money on a cruise is by bringing some of your own beverages on board. Each person is allowed, usually on some cruise lines, now check the cruise line because not all of them are like this, but some cruise lines allow you to bring a bottle of wine per person. You can't bring any hard liquor on board, obviously, but you can bring a 12-pack of pop, or we like the flavored waters. So you're also able to bring those on board, especially with Carnival and Princess. Now check the other cruise lines, because some cruise lines do not allow that. But if they do, that's a great way to save money. You have a little fridge usually in your room, in your cabin, that you can put the pop or the water or or the wine in, and that would save a lot of money right there. Also, if you are one that likes to drink alcoholic beverages, you don't need to buy the drink plan. Often they really push that drink plan. And unless you are a heavy drinker, you're probably not going to get your money's worth. So if you just like a drink once in a while, occasionally, another way you can save money is by looking for any specials on board. Sometimes the bars individually will offer like a drink of the day where they give you $2 off or something like that. Or they might have a happy hour going on in one of the bars. So check, the agenda as you're getting on the ship to see if those kind of things are offered. Sometimes art shows will have free champagne, or jewelry stores, I've seen that. So just be on the lookout for things like that where, maybe you can have a free drink here and there. That'll save you a lot of money. And there's also free beverages available. They have coffee, teas, and things, lemonade, different juices in the mornings that you can drink for free. So you really don't have to pay for extra pop and things if you don't want to. Okay, another way you can save money on a cruise, and I think this is number 7, is by kind of avoiding the spa. The spa, everyone likes a massage now and then, but the prices on the onboard spas tend to be very high. And so sometimes in ports, you can find places that will give you a very inexpensive massage on the beach. Like we saw some in Dominican Republic, we saw some in Grand Turk, where you could go and pay a much smaller fee. I think one was like $50. I think one was $25 we saw one time. So you're not paying the really high prices, where they're also trying to make commission off selling you different products, because they can be really pushy sometimes in the spas on these ships. And if you do want to go to the spa, you really want to go, I would look for specials there too on the ship. And sometimes on port days or at other very slow times, they may offer some reduced fees on the massages and other services. So be on the lookout for that, and you can save yourself a few bucks there as well. Okay, the 8th way that I have for you in terms of saving money on a cruise is to take your own photos. Now, obviously nowadays the iPhones, or any kind of phone really, or camera, takes such good photos that you really don't need the professional photographers to take your pictures anymore. However, obviously they do a great job, and it is kind of fun to have your photos taken. We always just pose for the photos. By posing for the photos on board with the professionals, you do not have to buy them, you do not have to pay for them. You can just kind of look at them later in the app and things and just see if you do want to purchase any of them and see how much they really are. But you can take your own photos. That's what we've done the last few cruises, and we've saved ourselves quite a bit of money by not purchasing the photos on board. Okay, the 9th idea that I have for you to save money on a cruise is to not try to buy it all before you go on a cruise. Some people, including myself, we watch all these YouTube videos and get all these ideas, the packing lists of things we should bring. And oftentimes, you really don't need it all. They're just giving you ideas, but if you buy all that, it really adds up. It adds a lot of expense to traveling. For instance, I've never bought the magnets for the cruise ship walls, or for the cabin walls to hang up papers and things. Haven't missed them at all. Some people get really into the door decorating. We've never done that either. We would rather be out doing things and seeing what's going on the ship. A lot of times you don't need fancy clothes, so don't feel like you have to go out and buy, extravagant prom dress type dresses or tuxedos. You really don't need them. The cruises now are so casual. You could even wear something that you have hanging right now in your closet and feel fine. You would fit in perfectly. So just don't feel like you have to buy it all the gadgets, all the extension cords, whatever they're telling you to buy. You really don't need it. You can just go and have fun. If you do feel like you need something on the cruise ship, they have stores there for you Sometimes you can get things in port, you know, souvenir shopping and things if you need a new shirt, or if you feel like you want to buy a sweatshirt if you're cold or whatever. You don't have to bring it all with you, is what I'm trying to say. And you don't have to certainly buy more stuff to bring with, because that adds as well onto the price of taking the cruise. Okay, the 10th and last way that I have for you to save money on a cruise is one that some people don't think of, but you can use a travel agent. By using a travel agent, it usually does save you money. You do not have to pay for the use of a travel agent. And what they can do is look and compare across cruise lines to find the best rates for you, the best cabins that would save you money, especially if that's your intent. You know, if you let your travel agent know that, hey, I just want to sail as cheaply as possible here, they can look for deals for you, they can look for reduced cabins and find you the cheapest way to sail and the best time of year, things like that. So, I mean, you could do it yourself, but it's a lot of work sometimes to have to research all that. So if you want to use using a travel agent, oftentimes they can find you the best ways to save money. But that's, again, optional. You don't need a travel agent. You can do the research on your own. If you like exploring information online and finding out your own ideas and booking your own things, then go for it. But that is an option. So those are just 10 ideas that I have for saving money on a cruise. There's a lot of others I'm sure that I'm not even thinking of right now. If you have some ideas for saving money on a cruise, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them, and I'm sure others that are watching this video would love to hear them as well, because, you know, bottom line, with the economy the way it is right now, we are all looking for ways to save a few dollars here and there. And we don't want to cut out travel, right? We want to be able to live and enjoy a vacation here and there, and take those adventures while we still can, while we're still healthy. And so I thank you for watching today, our channel here, Winky World Adventures. And if you did enjoy this video or found anything helpful, if you would just like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Ron and I would really appreciate it. So thanks, and have a good cruise if you go. I hope you enjoy it and save a few dollars as well as you go.